and community were forced to flee and seek refuge owing to thugs. Several mourners, including
fellow Kenyans, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Honorable Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is currently the new face of the opposition in the Republic of Kenya. This followed after Raila Amolo Odinga joined William Ruto and formed the broad-based government under the Gen Z revolution or demonstrations which happened earlier in June. Yesterday, Honorable Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka had a press release at the Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka Command Center in Nairobi and addressed many issues touching on the NADCO report and the issues which happened in Limuru in Kiambu County surrounding the former Deputy President Honorable Rigathi Gachagua. That's going to be a discussion today. Before I continue, make sure you subscribe and give the video a like. To returning subscribers, thank you for your support. Okay, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka had a press release yesterday. I want us to pass through the message, and after we'll be able to dissect and understand the message which Honorable Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka and the opposition was trying to pass. Press release issued in Nairobi, Kenya on November 30th, 2024. State-sponsored terrorism and the lack of political goodwill to implement the NADCO report. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us here at SKM Center.
On Thursday, November 28th, instead of mourning the unexpected loss of their 23-year-old son, Erastus Duarte, a family and community were forced to flee and seek refuge owing to thugs. Several mourners, including Duarte's relatives, suffered injuries that required medical attention. Others were fortunate to escape the melee physically unscathed. As the dust settled, it was evident that these goons had one purpose in mind: to disrupt, to destroy, and prevent persons whom they felt were hostile to the Kenya Kwanza administration from interacting with mourners in Bibirone village, Limuru constituency, Kiambu County. To compound an already dire situation, area MCA Christopher Ireri and former Limuru MP Peter Mwadhi were abducted and unceremoniously bundled into Subarus by unidentified men before being abandoned near the southern bypass at around 11 p.m. That is for Peter Mwadhi. For Christopher, we gather is still in hospital in Kiambu, many kilometers away from Bibirone village. By the way, these were by hooded men, fully armed with walkie-talkies. I think you hear the testimony of Mheshimiwa Mwadhi. Despite the statements from both the Inspector General of the National Police Service, Mr. Douglas Kanja, and the Director of the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, Mr. Mohammed Amin, that the chaos was due to quote-unquote a lack of advanced intelligence.
Ladies and gentlemen, a terrorist attack on one Kenyan is an attack on all of us regardless of the race, ethnic community, and political persuasion. And abduction of one of us is an affront to all who believe in a free and democratic society. We therefore call upon all Kenyans, irrespective of ethnicity and political persuasion, to call out this rogue regime and in one accord say no more state-sponsored terrorism. Fellow Kenyans, we can all attest to the power of our combined protest voice against poor governance and corruption. Kenyans of all walks of life protested peacefully in the courts, on social media, and in print and broadcast media against the Adani Group's opaque, non-competitive, and secretive deals to take over Jomo Kenyatta International Airport JKIA and the Kenya Electricity Transmission Company, KETRACO. It was the U.S. Department of Justice incitement of Adani for violation of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, a U.S. and bribery law that finally forced Mr. William Ruto to concede and purport to cancel the Adani Group deals in the transport and aid sector on Thursday, November 21st, during the State of the Nation address. Whether or not Mr. Ruto's embarrassing concession was due to foreign intervention, it is clear that Mr. Ruto did not listen to his fellow Kenyans, as he later claimed. What is evident should be clear to Mr. William Ruto and his government is that the voice of the people and the will continue to be the most important, as stated plainly in Article 1 of Kenya's Constitution 2010. While we the people's loyal position acknowledge, encourage and respect the people's voices, the victory is by no means complete. The opaqueness in the purported cancellation of the JKIA and KETRACO deals need to be examined. In addition, the Adani connection in the Social Health Authority (SHA) and Social Health Insurance Fund (SHIF), Adani needs to be severed immediately. As the co-chair of the dialogue process, I can attest that we negotiated in good faith. However, this regime has demonstrated time and again they are not interested in justice or interest of Kenyans. Since the tabling of the report in Parliament almost a year ago on December 7, 2023, the NADIGO agreement has not been implemented. The few concessions on the cost of living have not been honored. The matters relating to electoral justice have not been implemented, including the evaluation of the 2022 general election. The constitutional and legal reforms to ensure credible elections are still pending. The Kenya Kwanza regime is clawing back and putting the country on a dangerous trajectory. They are determined to violate the NADIGO agreement and proposed constitutional and legal instruments agreed. Of particular concern are the constitutional timeline for boundary delimitation and the reconstitution of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IEBC). The regime is already breaching the constitution by failing to meet constitutional deadline for boundary delimitation. We are already facing a constitutional crisis. On IEBC, the regime is not interested in the reconstitution of a credible commission. Through sponsored court cases, the process of setting up a panel has been frustrated. We have a simple question for the judiciary. Did the Constitution envisage a situation where commissioners of the IEBC are not in office? Did the framers of the Constitution contemplate a situation where the courts can allow a dysfunctional commission? The unpopular regime does not want Kenyans to exercise their sovereign authority by electing leaders through by-elections and referendums, recalling unpopular elected officials and properly preparing for the 2027 general elections. Kenya Kwanza is preparing to undermine people's sovereign authority and manipulate the next elections. The bill in Senate to stop live streaming of results is one way stealing the coming elections. We want to tell the Gen Z and the Gen Wote that we will still continue to stand with them against state-sponsored violence and impunity. We are still unearthing evidence of fractions, including those that contravene international law. The regime cannot understand that the just demand of Kenyans cannot be wished away. As the lives of Kenyans become intolerable and precarious, we will continue to demand justice. The next maandamanos will resolve Kenya's problem once and for all. Finally, we want to warn the Kenya Kwanza regime in the clearest possible terms. We will not allow, number one, the balkanization of our nation. Number two, we will never again allow the rigging of elections. Number three, we will continue to resist against the oppression, come what may. Thank you very much and may God bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a statement from the people's or your loyal opposition, led by one and only Honorable Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka of the Wiper Democratic Movement. Kalonzo has raised very many issues touching on the lives of Kenyans and the state of the economy and what is happening around William Ruto's government. Kalonzo has listed and highlighted several issues that William Ruto is giving a blind eye on. To start with, The NADCO report. NADCO report was formed way back in 2023 after ile maandamano ya baba akipinga the housing levy and the like. That was way before the Gen Z revolution or the Gen Z demonstrations earlier this year in June. Kalonzo goes on to tell that he has some intelligence or some intelligence reports that William Ruto is not ready to implement the NADCO report. The panel to constitute the Independent Electoral Boundary Commission IEBC has not been formed because the judiciary through the courts has been blocking the formation of that panel. This is what we call state capture completely. The state has captured parliament, the state has captured judiciary. William Ruto was against these things during Uhuru Kenyatta's regime, but he seems to be good at it. Kweli ametukamata. Unakimbia kwa koti, ashazima kila kitu. Bunge, hakuna bunge. Bunge ni yake. That is the current state in our nation. Before I finalize, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka has also told us that they will not allow election rigging. William Ruto is one of the smartest politicians in the Republic of Kenya. Nakumbuka wakati wa campaign 2022, William Ruto alituambia kwamba yeye si Raila Amolo Odinga. Tukimwangalia kweli anaweza ibiwa kura.
Nikisimama hapa, si mimi ndio naibu wa rais wa Kenya? Si walishindwa kuniondoa? Mimi nataka niwaulize, mkiniona hivi, mimi nakaa mtu ya kuibiwa kura mimi? Yani tuambiane tu kweli. Yani mimi nakaa mtu ya kuibiwa kura? Hiyo ni ndoto ya mchana bwana. Hiyo haiwezekani. Hiyo is not possible. Tunaelewana? Kwani kuna system ambayo mimi kama naibu wa rais sijui? Ama kuna deep state yenye mimi sijui? Hiyo ni ndoto ya mchana. Tunaelewana bana? Kwa hivyo hawa watu hakuna kitu watafanya. There is nothing they will do.
And for sure William Ruto uwezi mwibia kura. Currently hakuna IEBC. Hiyo panel hata ya kuunda IEBC bado haijakuwa formed. We have a lot of cases in the courts. That's why the opposition is complaining. But do you think they have what it takes to prevent election rigging in the Republic of Kenya? Is it possible for us to conduct a free, fair and credible election in Kenya? Do we have a body? Is our IEBC capable of doing that? In my own view, I support the press message or the press release by the people's opposition or the people's loyal opposition by Kalonzo Musyoka that William Ruto lacks political goodwill. He is not ready to cooperate and let things happen as they should. That's my submission. Remember to subscribe. Many of you just watch my video and you don't subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Give the video a like. Before the end of the year, I want us to be at 5,000 subscribers. Thank you. God bless you.